Saints to take on the Atlanta Falcons in a few hours. In the meantime, probably could snatch right in their hood. Atlanta went with Jeremy Lin over their new rookie. We'll get started out in Atlanta. Two years underway. Oh, this is traffic. 182. Yeah, aliens in the building. Opening night October 17th, 2019. With the CEO Davis still live and kicking. Go to the whole one. Julius Randle. Putting away from Mara Patterson. Those guys for Carolina tonight. He said he go to Atlanta just to eat. He might be confused with New Orleans. Anthony Davis was happy to see the starter. And that's it. The off-season is officially over. These are two teams that are probably more hungry and more competitive than people are going to realize. Oh, Darius Miller cuts it off behind the arc. On the road. Jeremy Lin turning into a renegade over the past few years. Good. Running and gunning. Rodney Hood can give more contribution And he put up for Cleveland last year. He's more. Gonna set it up. Game one. A lot of teams gonna work out the kinks, but Atlanta having some defensive problems right there. Around Duke. It's just been open every time he shot the ball in there. New Orleans Pelicans still have Alvin Gentry as a coach. Alvin Gentry was able to survive the Boogie Cousins era. Wide open shot off. 7-2 here in Arizona. His first touch. His first touch off. Feel like he busted a move he's been practicing all summer. Good pass. Hey, that was All-Star Holiday. What a pass. I'm in Atlanta. I'm calling the timeout. This defense is atrocious. Trae Young over there on the bench. And that's a storyline that we didn't go into the game with. Vince Carter could very well be his last year. We thought that before. David pushes the issue to get that favorable call. AD looking a little reminiscent of KG. Ford. Easy. First time at the line. Banks at home or out here in Atlanta. State Farm Arena. And Trae Young has slipped into the game without anybody even noticing. Takes a shot. Oh, that was lovely. That's just chemistry between the two. Slam magazine for Anthony Davis. First game of the season. What kind of time we line up? Another rookie. Trae Young. Controversial pick for the aspect. He's got a lot of doubters. Atlanta was not one of them. Elder Payton out there in North Pelicans. Julius. And it was shoot it. Off the mark, and Anthony Davis just makes certain aspects of basketball look too easy. Solemn. One up, one down. 19-12. It looks like guys are getting warmed up. Getting that season opener jitters out of the way. It's Carter. He on his farewell tour, just like Dwayne Wade. Carter, Wade, some vets. This may be the last year we see them in the NBA. LeBron's first year in Los Angeles. Trae Young's first year in the league. It's a special year. He finds Young on the wing and it's good. Davis will shoot that. We know he will. Payton. (21 of 15). Winding down the first quarter. And it catches the Pelicans sleeping. No more Rondo. He has moved on to LA with LeBron. Nice steal by Sumner. Pelicans feel like they need a timeout. They get a little break right there. Oh. If he worked on his offense this offseason, it's not shown. 38. He gets it over AD. Doesn't get over on him. He tried it. He was denied it. Consecutive. No game for sure. Another rebound for Anthony Davis. You remember Vince Carter being traded on draft nights? Antoine Jameson and Vince Carter. Merited, let it fly. Inside, no! Holiday. The extra pass paid dividends. 24-17. Orleans Pelican fans are still waiting for their home opener. Sell out. Not a sold-out crowd here at Atlanta, but nice crowd. And Young is just firing the. Oh, he missed. Spoke too soon. Bad offense by the Pelicans. Gentry letting them play it out, but I would call it timeout. Young wide open. And there it is. Alvin Gentry going to tell his guys to tighten up a bit.
Mesdames et messieurs, vous écoutez une production Wikileaks.
Don't ask me. Don't look at me. Are they over the D? Another inside miss for these Atlanta Hawks. Ooh. John Moore, with a successful season last year, finds himself still on the roster. It's broke, so they're trying to fix it.
Airheads, late morning play, delicious.
This first time. I'm a sister for Drew Holiday. Oh, another one. Yeah, Miller slices into the paint. Nice. Then lock. Oh, they let you fly. Oh, they had to box out AD. A lot of time left before the half. He's feeling it.
Mesdames et messieurs, vous écoutez une production Reggae Sex is the sandwich, and you can put whatever you want on it. As long as you put this on it. Explore with confidence.
Another block. Number 55. Don't miss. And then Atlanta brings it within 10. Eleven and 11. 11 points, 11 rebounds. Anthony Davis. 2 minutes left in the half.
K-Dub, K-Dub,
Hawks ball.
K-Dub, K-Dub, K-Dub.
Home. Nice numbers. You can duplicate last year's numbers or improve it. It'll be big time. Beautiful. What can Atlanta do? Let's see what they new rookies. Provide some hope. Davis bust a shot over quarter. Let's stick with 11 points and a half. Edmonds having a nice half. Evan, inside number 14, he gets it over Anthony Davis, but he'll miss it. He is close to the rock. Pass it out to Davis, and right over big Trey Young looking like a man. Anthony Davis, towering above Trey Young. Peter Drew Holiday. Oh, 38. Look at the three yet. That was his repertoire in college.
K-Dub, K-Dub.
Davis hustling down the court. Exploiting the mismatch. It's Carter. Loves the game and refuses to go home. Still being productive. Wide open Clark. Former Warrior. Others got 49. Atlanta still in the first quarter. 12 seconds left. Young. Ooh. Welcomes Drew Holiday to Trey Young instead of Drew Holiday welcoming Trey Young to the NBA. Another one. That'll bring us into the half.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today.
So why couldn't that be played and a new phone?
And I get this one free.
You got it.
It's a BOGO. It's a BOGO free phone, bro.
Time for a switch.
Switch to Boost, and for a limited time, you can buy one phone and get another one free. Plus, get 4 lines for only $25 a month per line.
They made a huge mistake. And the reason why I say that, if you look at the DNA and the history of LeBron James, he's played well. His 2 championships, obviously leaving Kevin Love, who's a stretch 4, center type of guy, but also Chris Bosh. He needs one of those type of guys on his team, and that's what DeMarcus Cousins brings to you on the offensive end. His ability to stretch the floor, be a presence inside. And then you got to look at his career numbers. It's a guy that averaged 21 points a game as a career, but last year, 48 games, 25 points and 13 rebounds. LeBron James needs another star alongside of him. And if you want to go against Golden State, he would have been a perfect fit for him because he brings toughness. And you got a one-year deal. You got to think about it. You got a one-year deal. If it doesn't work, you don't lose anything. If it's going to be $5.3 million, you don't lose much from it. And if you get him with LeBron, LeBron's a great teammate. LeBron can have that type of influence on him that can change him. And if you got the idea you're going to bring in Rajon Rondo, who can be the icing on the cake, Rajon just played with him. Rajon went to the University of Kentucky. Rajon's a guy that can get in his head, that can talk to him, that can get him on the right lift of how to play.
Why the Lakers made a huge mistake not signing Boogie?
You got to try to figure out some pieces to put with LeBron James if you want to win this thing.
I agree you have to figure out some pieces to put with LeBron James. My concern, if I'm the Lakers and Boogie Cousins, is does adding Boogie, if they could have added Boogie, make it harder to get Kawhi Leonard?
Boogied out of New Orleans.
If what we're hearing
Straight.
from C started this, and now we've heard other people, Shams Charania talked about it on the Herd yesterday, that Kawhi is not necessarily so into the super team thing. It's not that he wouldn't want to play with LeBron, but that he doesn't think that the guy that he compared himself most to, or people around him compared himself most to, is Russell Westbrook. I can be a draw of people. But we also know Kawhi doesn't like a lot of what you would call circus, a lot of noise around the team. There's going to be noise surrounding the team with LeBron no matter what. Right. And I have real concern about whether or not Boogie's would be happy in any situation on a 1-year under market value contract that isn't Golden State, where he is essentially sacrificing money to go walk into a ring. For all those reasons, I don't think it's quite as simple. And that's not even to mention that you're not going to have him until Christmas. I don't think it's quite as simple as you're making it out.
Well, you got to eventually add pieces with LeBron James.
Yes.
You got an opportunity to add a 27, 28-year-old guy who's arguably the top 15 player in this league. Chance to try him out. You get a free tryout basically for $5 million. I'm not worried about Kawhi Leonard at this point. Kawhi Leonard is probably next year. But I get to put him with my young core, see if it can fit, see if it can mix. If it don't, it doesn't hurt me. Going into 2019, I still got to put pieces around him. The 2019 class ain't that great.
No, but what if the Lakers in their theory was, okay, we'll let him try out with Golden State. Because we're not competing with Golden State this year. We got LeBron for 4 years. What about we put him with Cousins in year 19, 20, and 21? Like, compared to
season, and
because you're only going to have him for 1 season, and that season being abbreviated. Now, I like the fact of having Rondo on the roster because if Cousins is healthy, Rondo's already on the roster. All I got to do is give him another 1-year deal, and I can go out and get Cousins next year after we have seen him come back from that injury. You have to be concerned about that Achilles injury. The only reason why he's on a 1-year deal is because of that Achilles injury, and I believe that the Lakers, if you want Boogie, and I do believe that the stretch 4s and 5s, they have helped LeBron, but this is not the most important year as far as competing against Golden State. I believe next year and the year after that will they really have an opportunity.
That's why you take the chance, because it's not that important year. You got to see if you can fit in with your young guys right now. If you're not making a trade for Kawhi Leonard, he's a good fit for what you got going on right now, especially if you can add Rondo to the equation. If you can add Rondo, a guy that's just played with him, he was under control. He was under control this year.
He was also, he believed, playing for a max contract. And
Nice choices. You see, now Verizon lets you mix and match your family unlimited plans, like you mix and match your flavors, so you get what you want without paying for things you don't.
Number 6.
I know. Where do I put it? In my belly.
One family, different unlimited plans, starting at $40 per line on the network you deserve.
I don't like this.
No, you don't.
I don't like this. I don't blame Boogie.
I just don't like it. Too much talent in the West. If Boogie is anything like he used to be come February or March, I don't like it. It makes the whole season irrelevant. You know Golden State is going to win. I can't sit here and blame Boogie because of the way the salary cap played out. There wasn't money from a lot of different sources for him to go. And if he's going to have to sign for $5 million, you damn well go play to win. That's the only thing that you can satisfy yourself. But I just don't. There's just way too much talent in the West, and for Golden State to get stronger, this is not good for the NBA.
Solomon got to pee or something.
What are they supposed to do? They get a call from Boogie. He says, "Listen, I'm willing to come if you would accept me for the exemption."
Real bad.
So they go say no. Knowing they really only got him for a half a year, you got to think about it. Next, what?
I'm not blaming anybody.
But
do you like Boogie joining 4 other All-Stars? This is like 1968 all over again. It's the Boston Celtics with all the talent.
Listen, I look at it like this. My man was out there, and this is a blow to the ego too, because this is a guy 25, 13, and 5, not getting a call, okay, at all. This is a blow to the ego. So now he has to step back and play a lesser role than what he would do. Now he's not coming back to December, January, a half a season.
Next year, regular season matters, Jim.
It matters to him. It matters to him.
No, as a fan. Take him out of it as a fan.
Well, it matters because you want to see things come together, especially with LeBron being back in the West. Back in the West.
It does matter. Here's what sells the NBA. First of all, dynasties aren't bad for the NBA. That's been proven. You have to run through the Lakers, the Celtics in the 80s, Jordan's Bulls, Shaq and Kobe.
Mistake. The reason why I say that.
Then they continue where he left off. That's just the holiday. Oh, wow. I think Davis is thinking, maybe I ought to put a body on there. Maybe, just a little. Yeah. Good. Give him a second chance. Again. Now after Drew.
Welcome to Undisputed. No chair, not attacking any chairs.
We're good.
You saw a man look like this is ill.
I love. He's like a little brother to me now. He's someone I talked to the day before he signed with Golden State, and is so passionate about stuff that sometimes we get stuff.
Okay. Well,
Did you talk to him about that?
Yeah, I mean, we talk on and off, a lot. You know what I mean? And like I said, just for him just to harness his energy, now that he's going into the later stages of his career, and everything he does is obviously scrutinized, but you never want to be in a situation where your actions are harming your team.
How surprised were you, Matt, though, about his 1-year deal for $5 million with
I
the
couldn't
Warriors?
believe it. I talked to him the day before, and he was talking about the Lakers. I thought he was going to go to the Lakers. That's what he was, kind of talking about. And, for Golden State to snatch him up that next day is incredible. The rest of the NBA made a huge mistake by not taking a chance on, somebody that's a 26 and 13 guy.
Did particularly Magic Johnson make a mistake?
If it was in Magic's hands to actually sign him, yes. I really feel, I think Steven Jackson made a great point the other day that Chandler Parsons got $100 million off 2 microfracture surgeries. And Achilles are a bad injury, but it's more, it's happening more often, and players are coming back from it. So to not take a chance on a guy that is, to me, still healthy, I think he's still better than Joel Embiid to center in the game.
How do you rationalize what the Lakers did not do? What do you think they were thinking? Just even if you're guessing, do you think they're thinking injury and baggage, or
maybe the misconception of his attitude. Yeah. I think that's what a lot of teams were looking at. Outside in, it's easy to do that, but playing with him and getting to and understanding him is a different story. I think for him to go to Golden State is his career because that one, and this is no disrespect to him, they don't need him to win a championship, so he can take his time and get healthy. 2, he's going to be around a bunch of great veteran leaders in Draymond and KD, Steph, Sean Livingston, Steve Kerr, just the organization as a whole. Sacramento's a 19-year-old. No one, guide him or anyone he respected or listened to. So I think this is a different situation. I'm really happy.
Well, maybe that had a lot more to do with it because, with the exception of LeBron, who are the veteran guys that's going to be in that Lakers locker room that would be able to talk to him, maybe.
I just think it's a different situation. Talking to guys when he plays on the Olympic team, he's a different guy. You know what I mean? So I think when he has stars around him that are going to hold him accountable and just give him that look, which LeBron probably would have done, I think Boogie's always been on bad teams. Not to
Could be a momentum changer right here.
New Orleans was great last year. Overachieved, played well. I love Alvin Gentry and what they got going on over there. But like I said, in Sacramento, he played every season just for the season. He knew they were in the playoffs now, so he knows a different goal, different timeline, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Go ahead, Skip.
I've always been a big fan even before he was drafted, but try to put DeMarcus's talent in big picture perspective. How gifted is he? What did you see?
He's one of the most gifted players I've ever seen in my entire life, from all aspects of the court, from shooting 30-foot three-pointers to being able to post up anybody, to be able to take anybody off. Seen a player with his size and strength, skill to it.
And feel for the game. He averaged 5 assists last year.
I mean, he can average damn near a triple double if he wanted to. That's what I used to tell him in Sacramento all the time. Get everyone else going so you don't have a man and a half, 2 men on you, and then barbecue chicken, like Shaq would say.
I'm surprised. And it was reported that he turned down 2 years, $40 million from the New Orleans Pelicans. What's surprising?
That was after his injury.
That was after his injury. So he takes 5.3. Now, in order for him to recoup that, he blew this in Sacramento because he was in line for a Supermax, over $200 million. He goes to New Orleans. He's in line for 178 if he doesn't get hurt. Now that price is coming down, Matt. He's gonna have to start looking at. Hold on, wait a minute. My injury had a large role with this. Okay, granted I'm injured. It hurt my Achilles. People looking at me, man. They think I'm a cancer. They think I'm a bad locker room guy. Even though I'm giving you 26 and 13 a night. And this is what some guys don't understand. I mean, it's like an employee. Some people think being a good employee is just working hard. You got to get along with people.
Well, like I said earlier, I think this is going to be the best situation for him because this is going to be the first real family environment he's been into. I know Draymond's going to stay on him. I'm going to stay on him. I live up there still, back and forth. So, understand what's going on. I think he's definitely going to show his work. He said there's no rush for him to get back now. Everybody knows what he's capable of. And he'll start showing his work at the end of the season. It's just basically a 1-year audition with the greatest team ever assembled. Arguably one of the greatest teams ever assembled. And he's going to show his work. Now, whether he reads up there or if he gets a big deal somewhere else, I have no doubt that if he is able to get over this injury, which I think he will, he'll get his.
How do you envision Golden State fitting DeMarcus into their rotation?
I mean, I think it'll be seamless. Like I said, going into that situation, it was a situation where you got excited to practice. It was just such a cool. The energy was amazing. Coach Kerr was amazing. So I just think he'll be excited to finally play on a team where he knows he's going to be playing in June, and for him to be able to be at the center and space the floor on that team. They never had a space the floor by. I mean, David West is a mid-range guy that can space a little bit, but you have to guard DeMarcus at 30 feet. So that's going to open up. I think it's going to be ugly.
Is it possible that their death lineup, as in smaller lineup, will become their second best lineup?
I think so, possibly, because like I said, I mean, Iggy is great and he's proven himself. But to me, if DeMarcus is healthy, it's hard to take him off the court, and they're gonna motivate him.
So we've talked a lot about these Achilles injuries, simply the worst basketball injury you can suffer, and it's sort of about 50-50 whether you ever come back, certainly full speed. What's your gut on him, knowing his makeup, how hard he worked to come back? How good do you feel about him coming back full force?
I feel great from the standpoint of, everyone has been talking down on him, what he is and what he isn't, and what he can't. Like I said, I've been checking on him all summer. I know he's working hard. I know he's eating out because of an unfortunate missed out on a lot of money. But if you're not going to get a bag, going to Golden State is just like getting a bag. Outside of being a Laker was amazing, but this era, there's nothing to get.
Well,
Family aspect.
They might be looking at this long term skill.
I agree.
Because if you think about it, Klay Thompson's like, okay, let's just say for the sake of I got 4 rings. If I stay here, or turn this bag over somewhere else. And Klay Thompson is saying, you know what?
I love that. That's incredible, Shannon. Do you like Vince taking this deal?
I don't have a problem with it. Skip, he's a good teammate. They drafted 3. They got drafted 3 guys in the first round this year. Their last year's first round pick, Collins, is 20 years of age.
Good player.
Yeah, so I mean, he'll have a good positive influence. The dude has made almost $170 million. That's $2 million to a guy that's made $170 million. So clearly, he loves the game. He's not harming anybody. I tell you what, he's the greatest dunker to ever play in the NBA. Would you agree with that?
You can make that case.
And he went to Carolina. He went to my school, my favorite basketball school. Skip. So,
and I kept watching him at Carolina. I never saw the insanity. Why is that?
I mean, you saw a little bit. You saw a little bit of. You saw a little bit of.
I didn't.
I saw some dunking.
Huh?
Oh, he could. I mean,
but I didn't see Michael Jordan at North Carolina.
Hey, nobody saw it. Nobody saw Jordan at Carolina.
I'm sorry, I disagree with this. And I like Vince Carter, and I respect him as a man because I do think he's a great teammate, and I think he will do good things in that locker room next year, and he'll be a good influence for Trae Young, just as a sounding board, a mentor, just to have a backstop, just to say, how do we do this? How do we live the NBA life? I get all that. There was a time that I thought Vince Carter was Hall of Fame bound because for his first 11 years, he made All-Star 8 straight years out of those, and he averaged 24, 6, and 4, which are pretty big numbers.
And they might get him in the Hall.
Okay, but then the last 9 years, he's averaged 11, 3, and 2. And after watching him play for the Atlanta Hawks, it's going to hurt my eyes.
Well,
I want to see a great player have to play that role for the building Atlanta Hawks.
Did you watch him?
In decline. Yeah. For 9 years, he's averaged 11, 3, 2. It's that guy. What happened to him?
Everybody can't beat Ron. And play at the Apex for the long, 15 years. Skip 16, 17, 18.
8 straight All-Stars.
That was good.
Okay. So if you that guy, when your skills start to erode, now again, if Tom Brady, and at 41, you're going to turn on August 3rd, 41 years of age. Be an MVP candidate at 41, I'm good with it. If your team can be favored to win next year's championship at age 41, I'm great with it. I'm not writing off Tom Brady this year because I think he's positioned to win another one. Maybe it's not the right narrative, as you always suggest, but it is. I don't want to see Vince Carter decline and decline more and decline more. I would like to remember the guy who in 2000.
Yeah, you making it seem like the dude was Jordan. You went to the same school. He went
8 straight All-Star teams is pretty great.
Everybody, like you said, everybody go to the All-Star game.
I didn't say that. Everybody goes to the Hall of Fame.
No, everybody don't go to the Hall of Fame.
No.
But Skip, I mean, he's going to mentor the young kids. I think it's an indictment. I mean, look at Isaiah Thomas. He only got $2 million. Vince got 2.5. It's 21 years, and what is this? His 7th year, 7th year for Isaiah?
Am I supposed to just remember Vince Sanity for winning a dunk contest and dunking over Frederick Lights
in the Olympics?
Yep. Is that what am I supposed to remember?
Rookie of the year.
Is that it?
Skip, stop. Hold on. You did not think of no Vince Carter's no all-time historic pantheon great. You did not.
8 straight is pretty hard.
You're not going to even list him as a top 5 shooting guard of all time.
No, but I have a chance to be a Hall of Famer. He's not in my Hall of Fame now.
Ain't nobody in your Hall of Fame. You got one guy in your Hall of Fame. That's Michael Jordan. Bird is not in there. Kareem, Shaq. Is LeBron a Hall of Famer?
Chance. Well, let's get a little.
I'm going. I want you to know we going. If we doing this show together, we going to Springfield that year.
Okay.
I want to be there.
Well, he's like Brady.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a long time. 2023 is realistic. 5 more years is realistic.
So is Vince Carter only a dunker? Is that all he was?
No. He can get buckets. You remember that shootout he and Allen Iverson had in that playoff game, Skip? So he was a good offensive player.
I actually remember Game 7 of that series when he missed the last shot, or the last second shot after he'd gone to North Carolina for graduation earlier in the day. But he got back 5 hours before the game, so I was good with that.
That was the problem when you wanted to walk.
No, that's fine.
But I'm not looking at Vince. Look, we remember our heroes how we wish to remember. You want to remember how you want to remember him, you can remember him like that. I don't know, being able to get buckets, being a hell of a dunker. But the last couple of years, he's bounced. I mean, what do you expect, Skip? 8 teams. That's like Shaq. You make it seem like Shaq played for only 2 teams. Yeah. What did Shaq do his last 3 or 4 years?
You know what? Of all the great players, I know it's a new landscape in the NBA, but when I look at how many teams the greatest players in this game played for, Tim Duncan played for 1, Jim Kobe also 1. If I could put him up there. Obviously got forced to go to Washington at the end just because he got run to Chicago.
He could have stayed retired.
Yeah. Still averaged 20 and 6 those last 2 years.
What did LeBron go ahead?
I don't know. But my point is, Shaq is the only anomaly of all those top players. He just kept chasing. He said it the other day. I kept chasing the rings. He played on 6 teams.
He didn't think you'd go on Boston.
But he was also over stretch the most dominating offensive and defensive player I think I've ever seen.
I mean,
it was unfair.
Shaq was dominant when he first set foot in the league. He was 23 and 12, and the numbers only got better. So his first 10, 12 years, Skip, he was as good as we had at the center position. Obviously, Wilt was a different time and era. Nobody's going to ever put up those numbers again. But he was dominant when the game was a big man game. He had a lot. It was a big man's game. I mean, basically, there's no really Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid has range. Anthony Davis, big, has range. Boogie Cousins, big, has range. The bigs back then played with their back against the basket. So he was dominating in a land of dominant bigs. I'm not looking at Vince Carter any other way.
Vince Carter for 11 years Hall of Famer, and now he's out of the Hall of Fame because he's just hung on. And
let me ask you a question. What the hell you think Dirk doing?
At least he's hanging on in the same city.
Well, so he's just hanging so long as you hang on the same city, you good.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying he's hanging on.
He's beloved. Is Vince beloved?
Yeah, he's beloved.
Memento.
Yeah, he loved.
Memphis, Dallas, Phoenix, Atlanta. You ruined it, Vince. You had me, and then
so what you want to do? Say, nah, man, I don't want this $2.5 million.
Well, you just revealed who you were. You're just some guy who's pretty good, who bounces around and collects checks. That's okay.
He was a very good player.
I don't know.
Was he better than Kobe? Was he better than D Wade? Because those guys were in his era.
Who's had a better nickname than Insanity?
Yeah.
Jay used it to start this topic.
Oh, okay. As far as dunking, as far as in the dunk contest, in in-game dunk,
yeah.
Oh, it's hard to beat this. I think he's the greatest dunker of all time.
Okay. So,
that ain't gonna get
and now ground bound.
He still can dunk. And Vince, okay. He gonna posterize somebody. We'll have a highlight. He gonna
posterize.
Huh? Yes, he can, Skip. Now, he ain't got no 44, 40.
And thanks so much for being with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, let's talk about your experience as an analyst for the Junior NBA World Championships. How's it been so far?
Well, first of all, I'm still stuck in basketball mode. Typically, I get to the gym early to work on my game, to get started. Well, my evening started before some of the younger guys, and this is none the same. I get here a little early.
Fun here. I love it.
Well, there was a really cool moment.
But no, this has been great.
Audience to be able to see of you surprising the Canadian national team earlier in the week. Let me play this clip, and I want to ask you about it.
Excuse me, real quick, if you don't mind.
Whoa,
if you don't mind. How you doing? Pretty good. I heard you guys were playing a game today, so after you guys come in and say hello. All right? Oh, say something, man. You make me nervous.
Hello.
All right, thanks. Of course.
Go!
They couldn't even talk. They were speechless. What was that moment like?
I know that was the problem. I mean, when it was brought to my attention, obviously I knew Canada said, "Hey, we got an idea," and I was like, "Let's do it." And I wasn't really sure how the reaction would go. I mean, obviously it could go one of two ways, or three ways. Either they're speechless, they go crazy, or they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I was just hoping that they would appreciate it, which they did. It was just funny. So that's why I was like, "Man, y'all make me nervous. Say something." And so I was shaking the guy's hand and everything. And the coach said, "Shoot, please don't forget the coaches and whatnot." So it was a great moment. And I actually talked with them after the game in private. Tough loss, didn't play well. So I just sat there and just talked to him and just had some motivational time, and guys kind of got some things off the chest, and tried to refocus to get ready for tournament play.
It's a long tradition there in Canada, the impact that you've had on basketball there. I'm very, very fortunate that our career paths crossed. My brother was coaching there in Toronto, developing you. You and I were working out together there in South Florida. You swore up and down I was trying to kill you or make you into an NFL linebacker.
I remember that. Like I said, like I tell you, I remember that like it was yesterday.
I was just trying to make you a little faster.
Conditioning and whatnot. I was like, man, look here, man. I'm trying to jump up in the air. I'm not trying to outrun people.
Now, Vince, how do you do it at this, even an advanced age? You talk about getting to the gym early. You've always had a tremendous work ethic and a regimen, but you to continue to play at the high level at the age that you're at, because it's really astonishing me viewing you from a distance.
And I think you'll agree with me when I say this, but it's just the love of the game that takes over everything. I enjoy coming to work. It's so good sometimes. Some mornings.
good morning.
Was that good morning to you? Was that too high to draft Trae Young?
No, it wasn't at all for this reason. The Atlanta Hawks need point guard play. So Dallas didn't need a point guard. They have Dennis Smith Jr., so it made sense for both teams. Dallas had their eyes on Luka Doncic, and had their eyes on getting a point guard. Trae Young on their board was the best available point guard. They only have 2 on their roster right now, Isaiah Taylor.
They want to get him out.
Yeah, they want
to oblige him.
And they will get him out. The thing is what I'm going to be looking at it. They have a very inexperienced head coach. Year being a head coach, Pierce. I know he can be relatable to the young guys because he's a young fella himself. It's just how are they going to maximize what Trae Young does well? And I think that's what people need to, if they're a coach, tap into that. Don't worry about what he does bad. Try to highlight what he does well and give him as much confidence as possible because this roster is terrible. They're not going to do anything. And they got $30 million in cap space. So what they could do is lure a younger, what you would call a vet, like 4 or 5 years in, looking to get paid. Look at it. They could take some pressure off. Boogie Cousins. But it's still, Boogie Cousins will want to go there. I want to go somewhere. They're not going to win for a long time. And so I don't think Boogie Cousins want to put himself through that. He did that in Sacramento, and he was known as a head case because he didn't like losing like that. So I think it was the right thing to do. He didn't go too high.
Well, the thing is, the guy that selected him was in the Golden State Warriors organization. And so he's looking at Trae Young as a young Steph Curry. That building started getting raucous, Skip. Why? Because they were raining threes. There's nobody dunking, nobody 360, and nobody doing anything spectacular. They're just raining threes. And I guess he's going to try to build this team around Trae Young in what he does really well, which is shoot from distance and assist the basketball. So you better find you a Clay, find another Clay, somebody else can put up, make 200 threes in a season, and maybe you'll be on to something. But he's on something, Skip, with the exception of Bagley Jr. and DeAndre Ayton. He's the biggest name. And
I think he's a bigger name than the other two. He's the biggest name in the draft.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for big guys to really sell, So with that being said, and Atlanta didn't like it in ticket sales. Skip, you say it was half full with Dominique. It's a third full now. Yeah. They got dogs. They got monkeys riding dogs. They got, they got a lady with the unicycle, taking bowls on her head. They got Luda and Jewel Chains performing at halftime. They're doing everything they can. Yep. They got a barbershop up in Phillips Arena and free cuts, trying to get people to come, Skip. So maybe he'll bring an extra 1,000 fans to the arena.
So, I'm going to say this one more time. Before the Steph Curry draft, I was on record on ESPN saying I would take Steph Curry #1 overall ahead of Blake Griffin. And a whole lot of ESPN analysts laughed at me. And now I'm laughing at any analyst who thinks that Trae Young is remotely comparable to Steph Curry because he shouldn't be uttered in the same breath.
Maybe 5-6 years in.
He will not. He will not. Steph Curry is an athlete. Steph Curry has explosiveness to him. He has gears. He has handle. Trae's got a handle too. I'm going to say it one more time. Trae Young has one great strength, and it is a great strength. He is a rare, creative, clever passer of the basketball. And if that's what you want to go pay your money to see, if you like that wow factor, that, oh my God, what did he just pull off kind of a factor with that pass, good for you. But he also led the nation in turnovers last year because he will try just about any pass possible, and a lot of them won't connect. But Lon Kruger, who's a smart basketball coach, had to just sit back in his teeth and let the kid try. And he would try 35-foot set shots because they're not really jump shots. You had a jump shot. You're about the same size, 6'1"-ish or so? Yeah, he's 6'1". Trae Young, 6'1". You had some stature to you. You had strength to you. You could drive it. If somebody dared you to drive the basketball, you would drive the basketball. But you could pull up and jump shoot the basketball from range, and he's a set shooter. He's not a leaper at all. He can't finish. He had a hard time in the Big 12 finishing at the rim, so he's not Iverson. He can't finish above the trees with strength and raw leaping power. There's nothing explosive about his game, and he won't defend anybody. So, again, will that sell tickets in Atlanta? I don't know. Because just look, he got worn down in a 32-game schedule. In the Big 12, they lost 9 of their last 11 games, including the first-round game to Rhode Island in the tournament. Because he got worn down and wore out because defenders got up into him and wouldn't let him shoot those 30-foot set shots anymore. They just said drive it on us because he couldn't drive it on them.
Well, Skip, he's not going to have to worry about going to class. He's not going to have to worry about study hall. So now he should hire him a nutritionist. He'll be able to get into the gym and maybe put on a few pounds and be able to withstand some of that pressure. I don't think anybody thought Steph Curry would be Steph Curry that we see today when they drafted him.
Not this. No,
I didn't think it was going to be that.
No,
but I thought he was the best player in that draft.
I mean,
I said so.
The dude has made 406 seasons. 406.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's more than there was more than teams were taking in the entire season, Skip. And he's one guy. Then you got Clay making almost 300. So, like I said, if he's gonna be your Steph, you gotta find you a Clay somewhere.
Well, I think the GM tried to find a Clay with this guy Kevin Herter. He's a guy. He's 6'7", similar frame. He can shoot it. Got a high basketball IQ. Can come off pin downs. Can come off pick and rolls and shoot the ball and also make plays out of those sets. So I think the GM is kind of bringing some of that Golden State. I don't know. I think Kim Bazemore, and I don't want talking about people. I don't like talking about people money like that, but I think that they might have overpaid for Kim Bazemore. I think they could have got him for a little bit less and have a little bit more cap space. But I see what the guy is trying to do. He's trying to build similar to what Golden State did. Find your point guard that's a shooter, a playmaker, and also find a knockdown shooter at about 6'7". The thing is, this guy Kevin Herter is not a defender like Klay Thompson. So you got two guys on your perimeter at two really important positions, the two guard and the point that really can't play that really good defense. And it's going to be on roll for them.
I think Dante DiVincenzo has a higher NBA ceiling than Trae Young does.
But you said this, though. This is one thing you said, that Trae Young is a great. Many people in the league have something that they do great. They could do a lot of things good, but if he is a great passer, you got to say his ceiling has to be extremely high.